Hey everybody, jumping on for a Monday lunch live. How goes it today? I am Amy at Magnolias in downtown Norfolk, Nebraska. What's everybody doing on your lunch break today? It's Monday. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like the results of the weekend and how you really don't want to be here? We are closed on Mondays now for our new winter hours. I am having a creative session at Magnolias here downtown, creating new looks for the store, coming up with concepts, fixing displays, and doing video content for our website. So Kate's taking a break. I'm jumping on with you. We're going to just give you an update on the next thing. What's the next thing? Hi, how are you, Patty? Thanks for joining me today from Massachusetts. How's the weather out there? Holy cow. I heard that the East Coast got slammed with some bad weather somewhere. Not sure if it extended up to you or not, but I am here in downtown Norfolk, Nebraska, having a sunny but chilly day, and we're doing warm soup in the crock pot and cool designs here for you. There's a new collection that I want to do. Do you know the Winter Woods thing? Those of you, Patty for sure has been paying attention long enough that you know the Winter Woods area kind of went by the wayside because it's gone. And that whole collection was paired up with our matte sage metals. I'm gonna try to slide this whole look into a pile here. Hey Sharon, hello. I'm missing some people here. Patty says you got 5 inches of wet heavy snow, then rain. Oh, that's lovely. And Kim's got cold and sun in Arkansas. How are you today, Kim? Thanks for joining me, gals. So this whole pile of goodies, can you see the colorway? It's blending blues with greens and a little bit of soft, dusty, purpley tones. We're gonna call this Serenity. And this is how my process. I start pulling stems and groupings of items that I feel fit the area. Like for instance, this look is going to have natural elements, like we're gonna build some designs on birch logs. It's going to have galvanized elements. In the display, we're gonna continue to show the black. Let me grab this other look here. The black is accessories in the area, so the art has black frames. And we're also using our matte metal in sage green and other wood elements like wood balls and textured throws. Nature meets nurture. Ooh, hey, I just thought of that. Somebody write that down. It's been said before, it's not original, but the concept of how to transition our look from winter woods into a new colorway. Hey, Diane, thanks for joining me. And Janice is in Bismarck. Oh, wow, 38 degrees. Well, that's pretty good for Bismarck, actually. And Terry, thanks for the vote of confidence. So if we're doing rustic elements paired up with our matte metal, which we want to keep coming because people love that look. So we're going to try to keep that in our Magnolias edit collection of basics that we always try to carry at Magnolias. Birchwood, wood balls, vine balls, matte metal and sage, galvanized metal, and this color palette of blues to purples to soft, dusty greens. There's some sagey green succulents coming in that are not so bright. There are sagey green leaf foliage sprays coming in, more bendy vines. I do have like this kind of succulent which borders on a brownish purple. And this little plant here, which I'm going to design with as part of this look too, just to give it some depth and some richness so it doesn't look too anemic. This is called the, what is this called? Lord, where's my glasses? Watermelon peperonia, watermelon plant. We'll call it that. So if that's what's going to be part of our foliages and part of our accents, then we'll have to keep it from getting too dark and heavy by blending in these lighter succulents. So you kind of get the vibe going on here before I get started. And we have some pieces already designed for that look, and we still have the whole area designed because I laid out that whole collection of decor, and then we laid in the winter woods, and now all the winter woods is picked out of it, literally down to maybe 4 arrangements, and we have to start over with new florals. So we don't want to do any more winter. We're moving on to the next thing. Actually, on Saturday, so many people loved our bright fun spring look. that I know I need to do more spring. But today I wanted to get a grip on this look so that the designers can work on it through the week and have some inspiration, because I've started the color palette and laid out the basics and outlined it more or less. So, hey, Nancy, thank you very much. Good combo. Christine says, I like it too. One of the other things that we'll be blending in are greenery with no color. So this piece is a perfect example of something that will fit the look flawlessly without having any color to it. So we'll have both options in our new collection that we'll call Serenity. So that'll be launching, it'll take a little bit. First we're launching the storybook collection, then we'll get onto this one, but I'll start building it in the background. This is the greenery basket. It doesn't have a fancy name. It's just called greenery basket for $76. And this is an example of, Jenny made this one, I believe. It's nice and weedy, full of all different kinds of interesting succulents, plants, vines, and some driftwood. That's what I'm trying to say. And this look will have some driftwood in it because I have a nice big basket that I've collected just for this reason. So if you're just jumping on, my name is Amy. I am at Magnolias in downtown Norfolk, Nebraska. We are starting in on a new floral design. So on Mondays, I think I'm either doing displays or I'm designing. Can't decide which. We will have a huge amount of new items coming online as soon as we get all of them unpacked and priced, because they're finally showing up. There's also a collection of decorator orbs here. I think I can open a bag because we're going to need to design with it anyway and show you. I feel like we should have these online. This is a collection of decorative orbs. This should fall under the orb collection. These come in blue for $16 a bag of 4, and they are kind of raffia wrapped. Not sure what that is. And this also has recently just arrived too. This is online, a $17.50, and that one is in the orb collection, but I don't know the name of it either. You know, I only have so much time to prepare for these because I'm trying to get a lot done. So if you go digging around on the website at shopmagnoliasonline.com, you're going to find these things in there, and they are fitting in perfectly with our Winter Woods collection. If you already bought it, maybe you just need to supplement it a little bit, or if you're wondering what to switch it to next, you could try some of these new pieces. So this is our teak wood root ball, root fir, no, I get these all confused because we have so many. This is the fir root orb, and this one is a $17 ball that's imported wood, hand carved, and they all vary a little bit. This one is the $17.50 Tillandsia kind of ball. It might be an air plant. Excuse me. And then this again was in the bag of 4 for $16, and those all work great in the metal. So this metal collection, if you're just joining me, is called Sage Matte Metal. If you go to our website at shopmagnoliasonline.com and literally type in the words matte metal, you'll see all 3 colors. We carry black, navy blue, and the sage color. They'll all come up with all the components still remaining in each grouping. We just keep filling them in as they're available at the companies, and we just keep selling out. So it's an ongoing process here. One of the things we like to do is make versatile designs. This is a $14 wall pocket in galvanized metal. We carry lots of different shapes of wall pockets on the website. And when you see those, generally we're going to design in them with a removable piece. We call a removable piece a drop-in. And a drop-in is very useful because you can always change things out and you're not stuck with it. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for joining me today. Who else is there? Lorraine is there. Christine's there. You know, if the comments are scrolling too fast and I missed your name, it's just because I'm talking and not looking at the tiny names, but don't mind me. I'll catch a few of you. At least I'm glad so many people are joining us on a Monday. This is a $9.50 watermelon bush. It looks great dropped into this little wall pocket all by itself. But what if we embellish it a little bit? Because that would be version A. Let's give it a version B. What do you think? Hey, Mary, how are you today? So one of the favorites of my design tricks that I use are these things we call a bendy vine. This is one of them. This is a stem of wired branch. This is only $7. If you search the word bendy vine, B-E-N-D-Y, we've renamed anything that's a twig shape to be called in some part of its name bendy vine so you can find it. Mostly it's because I have decided that my favorite thing for designing is to buy wired twigs that work not only as decoration in a branch form, but as a utility piece to secure things to. And when we keep them coming, all different colorways, lengths, textures, varieties, you can see how easy it is to manipulate and use them to shape and form things. So in the case of this wall pocket, we can take our watermelon bush, which was $9.50. And if I can give you the title as it appears on the item, it will help you search for it in the search field, or you can just search general terms like plants and see all of the plants we currently have in stock. And our stock varies and updates literally daily. Right now they're in the back room. The inventory is, people are here, and I am here, and they're preparing for the week, trying to get ahead of everything because we sell out over the weekend so badly. We have lots of updates to do. Not badly, I mean, it's a good thing. We just sell down. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. I'm glad you're new here. What I do daily on our lunch lives is design or talk about new collections or stand in my displays and talk about the groupings that we put together here at the store. And then Tuesday nights at 7 p.m., you should jump on and join our Magnolias VIP group. That one is Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. We do these casual, fun evening events where we show you new things, and VIP page is a lot of fun to see anyway. Everybody shares pictures of all the things they're doing. This is a 550 seed and pick in a gray color. It's definitely gray, but it's a succulent. Isn't that funky? Hey Karen, thanks for joining me. So what I'm doing in my hand is holding not only the twig stem and letting this piece go rogue for the moment, but I'm going to lay in a couple other stems of succulents, and I'm going to embellish this watermelon bush and drop it into this galvanized wall pocket. Just things that I do all day, every day, but I might as well do them live online with you. This is a $7 succulent. It's got a pretty nice size stem to it. Sometimes they're kind of short. And that one is $7. It's called the 8-inch Echeveria pick. Well, Echeveria is a hard word to say and spell, but ECH, or just look up succulents and that little guy should pop right up there too. So then what we'll do today, since I don't have a full staff and we're not going to be entering items online, is if there's something that you're seeing that I'm designing that you would like, we're going to get that shipped out for you tomorrow. And when my staff is at the store tomorrow, they'll see all of the Facebook messages and check the comments from today's live before we start tomorrow's event, which will be at night. And they'll give me an update on what I need to make more of. So if more than one of you want this design, we'll just make another one. No big deal. Message if you'd like it. These won't appear online for a couple of days, quite possibly the end of Tuesday if we're lucky. So I'm going to go back and use my Bendy vine. Oh, you're liking it already. I didn't even do anything good yet, guys. And I'm going to take one of the strands and wrap it around the stem of the bush and the succulents all together there and the twig itself, because it's like a giant twisty. It works slick to have these vines on hand. We carry all shapes and sizes, and by having it around, it provides a unique look. I can use wire all day long, but then you have to camouflage it because it's not pretty, right? This way, if you're using a vine already, it is not ugly and unsightly. If this piece were not put into the wall pocket and it laid in a bowl or a tray, you'd have a nice little bundle here too. I'm just kind of using some of the wire to secure it, and then I'm going to use the rest of it sticking out like this, because see how it just becomes extra. Extra's good, right? There we go. So my concept is pretty simple. Add some more stuff, drop it back in the wall pot. Nothing exciting about that, but functional, yes. So now my little wall vase has something extra going on, and don't those branches just do a little bit more to it? Sometimes round is boring. You need lots of spikiness, and around here, what we call grassy, weedy, twiggy sells better than compact designs all day long. People like airiness, wispiness, texture, big keywords, I'd say, in the designs that we sell here at Magnolias. And we have 3 designers on staff. We design all day, every day, custom pieces for people, as well as for the sales floor and the website. So we have lots to do all day, every day. So, hey, Lisa, thanks for joining me from Oklahoma. Who else is here? Smart move, getting 2 for 1, tide and color. So that's true. It is 2 for 1 because we can use it in a wall pocket where it fills in nicely, gives us a little bit of light and brightness because it's getting kind of dark, but it picks up the light color in the leaves of that watermelon bush. It would also look good laying in one of these bowls. This medium bowl from the collection, the Sage Matte Metal collection. The medium is $55. I think the small one's $37 if I'm going from memory. We could also take that wall pocket piece and lay it in that bowl, and it becomes a nice floral accent. We could sort of help it hang over the edge a little bit. And let's put some texture in there. This is the aviary ball, like a bird nest aviary ball. That one is online right now, $10. Or we could put in this little guy. I need to find the name of it. I'm sorry, it's new. I know it's in. That works in there too. And that repeats our green color, doesn't it? So now we have instant centerpiece, interesting texture, seasonless. You could then lay in some purple tulips come spring. That'd be pretty. We could add a bird's nest right here. Don't have one handy, but a little nest with eggs would be super cute in there as well. So something simple to do. We do have things for Valentine's Day. Let's see. If you're asking, Stacy, Valentine's Day, you see the stuff behind me? These are supplies over here to make more. But on our web store, shopmagnoliasonline.com, we have a Valentine's Day collection. There's lots of florals, some cute little signs, some gnomes, with more gnomes to come. As far as I understand it, they're supposed to show up. Everything is always hypothetical. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. So there we go. I'm making a racket here with my little wall pocket. But again, that was a $14 wall pocket design. So the wood beads, we do have wood beads. If anyone's asking, Christina's, we do, but not beside me. We're getting limited. I hope my order comes in. I've ordered beads everywhere so that somebody can send me some beads. We sold so many over Christmas, you wouldn't believe, like hundreds of different bead designs. But that's fine. I mean, it's just a popular item. We keep it in as best we can. We restock as fast as we can, trying to keep it coming, and it never comes fast enough to my liking because we sell it before we can replenish it. The supply chain issue, you don't want to hear about it. Cool, you'll have to check it out. Yes, there is plenty on our web store. We just keep updating it. And some things are sneaking in and surprising me. Other things I have to call and harass the companies and say, please send me something because they're holding it. Yeah, Gwen, you're right. Bendy Vine is like a twisty for design, like bread ties. That's kind of what it is. I think what I'm going to do is design off of these birch logs with a chunk of foam. I could wire it, but I think I might have more success if I use a piece of foam, and that will hold more flowers faster. So what I'm going to do is use my 3-stick bundle without disassembling it. This is a 24-inch birch bundle for $14.50. Here in Nebraska, we got to order birch because people have birch trees in their landscaping, but they don't grow in nature around here. They're not growing wild like they do when I lived in South Dakota. You could just go get them out of somebody's property in the trees. Not in Nebraska. Nope, nope. So I'm going to just lay a little bit of glue, secure that on there, and then to make sure it stays put, I'm going to put a little bit of wire around it. Many of you have seen me tape wires before. Got to have some ready. The wires make it easier. Please turn caption on. You know what will happen, Carolyn? The captions don't run while I'm talking on a live video. They will run after it ends in playback. Something to do with how Facebook does it. I can't turn it on, but it will automate after it's over with. So I apologize if you're at work watching. Can you read lips? So we're gonna do, or just watch for entertainment, huh? We're gonna do the wire over top of some Spanish moss because the Spanish moss will keep the wire from pulling through the foam. Then I'm going to use a bundle of thistles. I want to say weeds, but they're called thistles. This is a $15 bundle of thistles. And that little guy is going to be all set to go for my focal point, let's call it. I'm going to add these up, by the way, when I'm done. So if you want to know how much it is in the end, I can kind of guess if my brain can keep up self-calculating as I go. So with the thistle, I just need some texture as the base. I'm going to cut 2 of them off the short and set the third one to the side. I am winging it. We're just going to make it up as we go. But by having the foam here, I can control how everything lays more easily and shape it so that it can be viewed from all sides. So when I get done with this little twig design, it should look good as a centerpiece or on a low tray. It could sit by itself on a console table, a fireplace mantle, because you have a very thin base to it this way, right? I'm going to use a Magnolia. This is a pale blue with a touch of purple going on in there. And that Magnolia is $7.50. We have a few colors of this Magnolia. I think I just need one. And then I also want to make sure this has a little bit of height. So we're going to put that in there for a focal point. And then I'm also going to rob this guy. I'm going to wire it right down. This is that orb that we don't know the name of. I'll check it out later, and maybe I can drop links after I'm done too. But the orb itself is $17.50, and it's a unique texture, isn't it? Finished in the round, it's going to give a nice amount of interest here. So you have real birch? Oh, good. So Christine, if you've got real birch, you could bundle it together, make a nice stack of it. I'm just going to wire around one of the birch logs and wire this down to the top log here. I don't need it to go all the way around. That'll keep him in place. So then these big items are going to sort of ground the piece, and then I can add more airy pieces after this too. See, I have to design for the store anyway and come up with these concepts so you all can just keep me company while I do it, right? So we're going to just keep going here. Now that we have a nice outline, what else is in my pile of goodies? Let's use a little bit of the blue snowball hydrangea. Snowball spray, dusty blue, $14.50 for that stem of 3 pieces. One big, and 2 big and 1 small. So I'm going to cut them apart and just use the short chunks with a little bit of glue. Just making it up. I don't know. It's going to evolve. That works. So then I have a nice outline here. The top fell off. Let me glue that back on. There we go. And you know, when you get going on these things, sometimes I have to just get warmed up and my designs start flowing better just because my focus, I get into the swing of it, right? That's how it seems to work around here. What gauge of wire do I use? This is the last of my bundle, by the way. They are a 3-piece set for $15. I use 3 gauges of wire, 20, 19, and 22. In gauges, the smaller the number, the lighter weight the wire. So I use lots of probably 22s and 19s most commonly. Mostly because different things. If it's heavy duty stems, we need heavy wire. If you're doing something fine, like wiring this guy down, that just needed a lightweight wire. So it just depends on the occasion. Good questions though. I think I need a blueberry, ideally. Do I have one in front of me? No, I do not. I'm looking around to see what I might have. These things should all be shippable, by the way. If you want to ship anything from Magnolias on our website, shopmagnoliasonline.com, you'll see that the little banner across the top always says free shipping at $149. That's kind of where we have to be to make it work. Shipping has gotten to be out of control, hasn't it? Have you noticed other people saying that? This is an $8 stem. That is the Queen Anne lace stem. and it has a lot going on with it. I don't need a big old chunk of it, but because there's all these segments, I can cut it into 3 pieces here by making 3 good chunk cuts. And that'll get a long ways towards making the airiness factor evolve here. I like it because it's picking up the blue of that little ball in the middle too. Then it looks like we're going to need some deeper color, so I want to find those leaves, the watermelon leaves, and add those in because that's going to sort of ground the whole design. Right now it's getting very airy, and that's a good thing, but it's also a little pale. So I think it needs some depth of color. Do I have one of those behind me? Nope. I'm going to go grab one really fast from the edge of my display over here. I didn't know that. Okay, I'm back. I just realized we have it in 2 colors. So apparently at some point we got in a big piece at $15.50. That one is new. This is the one I've been using. This has purple on it. This one just has green. So there's a long trailer and a short chunk. The short guy is what we're going to cut up here. He was $9.50. I'm going to pull a couple of tips off of it and add a couple of pieces into the design, because just watch how it will make it look richer. And I'm tucking it in deeper to help draw your eye in, break up the airiness, and just, well, that's the best word for it. It grounds it, doesn't it? So it doesn't take much. I anticipate probably only needing 3 nice pieces here. And then I'd probably tuck in a little piece of berry. You could use a ribbon, like a cool burlap would look good. Berries or some kind of filler down low would probably be my first go-to though. Looks like it needs one more piece right here. So 4 pieces off of this bush, which means I've used about half of it, cutting a little bit off here and there. So the colors for spring seem to be on the dusty side. Loving the arrangements. You know, it just depends. Right now we're going muted because I feel like in our area it's a little early to throw sunny, bright yellows and everything at people, but it has its place. I mean, those of you living on the coast or in Florida, those bright colors are seemingly fine all the time. Here we go. When we design here in Nebraska, it seems a little bit out of place to get too much strong color when it's still winter months. And that's the #1 reason that people just sort of drag their feet on bringing out their spring. Because when there's snow on the ground, it looks silly to have tulips and bright spring flowers. Although I did see, what is the layman's term for muscari? M-U-S-C-A-R-I. Muscari is coming in. It's that short purple, it's not a crocus, it's like little grape, purple grape color, and they spring out of the frosty snow around here, and they'll bloom super early. I'm going to use a couple pieces of blueberry in there too, just a little bit. I have a stem that I've been cutting on. That is on its way, and we're going to have that along with some early spring flowers like cherry blossoms will be here shortly. I hope so. We have 1 style of cherry blossom is all. So, okay, this is where we're going with the design. A single magnolia balanced out with this little hairy little ball here. I don't know what this thing is called. This is an orb that is tillandsia. It looks like tillandsia to me. The thistle. The watermelon bush, built on a birch base. Crocus. Well, it's kind of a crocus, Peg. It doesn't have a flower. It has what looks like little grapes spiking up. Keep going, Peg. Well, Google it. Google muscari for me and tell me what you get. M-U-S-C-A-R-I. So this piece is going to get added up later. It'll eventually make it to the online store. I'll probably tuck a couple more blueberries in, but you get the idea. And that gives me a new thought here. I need to make a drop-in design to go with this, right? Something that I could display along with it when you have this on one table surface. Maybe you need a vase design on another table surface. So our favorite piece on Saturday, we made an extra. If you were watching on Saturday, we did design and come up with a couple extras for the store. This is a drop-in that coordinates with the look that I'm doing, which is why I'm on this track, because I realized how much, oh, thank you, grape hyacinth. I realized how much people liked this color palette. So here we go with a whole new launch of something called Serenity that you'll see soon on our website, inspired by all of you commenting and wanting this piece. So we created it. It's now online, pretty in purple drop-in. It's $47.50. It's designed to fit our picture. That is $29.50. That has kind of a blue-gray tone going on. The glaze on the top is a blue-gray. The glaze on the bottom is just a natural tan linen color. Again, the picture's $29.50. The drop-in is $47.50. And it's one of the things I designed Saturday morning and got so many comments on that we made a few extras here. And hanging air plant orb. Yes, thank you, Lisa. That's exactly what that is. A hanging air plant orb. And she's referring to that little spiky orb that I just used. Sharon, thank you for the stars. That's really sweet of you. I appreciate that. We work hard around here to keep going with new ideas for you all while you transition to the next season. Let's use that Magnolia and design a little drop-in in our basic vase. I love this vase. You maybe are tired of seeing it, but none of my new ones are here that I've ordered to kind of replace this look. I don't think there's much replacing a $13.50 vase, however. This 10-inch clear glass vase is what you would search. I'm going to put 2 Magnolias in it. Maybe it will need 3. We'll see. I am confident I will never get a $13.50 vase this nice again. Not anymore. Those days are over. Good thing I have a case. But we're working through that case, and so I won't have it for much longer. Whoops. Then I'm going to use a beautiful hydrangea that there is very, very few of. This is a hydrangea in blue-green, 25-inch, and there's only a couple left. It's $8. I dropped my pliers. Here we go. And then I'll probably use this willow eucalyptus needle spray, I think it's called. Sharon, that is so sweet. You come visit anytime. Sharon lives close by. Thank you for the stars and the kind comment, Sharon. It's always fun to see you and your sister shopping, having a good time. I am many, many years. I've had some customers that visit us frequently. How many years have you been shopping here, Sharon? It's almost like friends, you know. It is friends. Once our customers visit us for so long and we get to know everybody and we figure out what your colors are and your family and where you live and how you decorate, it is fun to know a lot about our customers and just be able to catch up every time you swing through. That is a beautiful hydrangea. This is the crunchy look of it. There's one. I can try to see if they have more available. I've been adding to my order as my favorites are going bye-bye and we're running out. I just keep trying to add them back into my order, but often when I jump on the websites of these companies, they are deep, like way into April until their next shipment comes. So we've got that Queen Anne's spray. We're just going to do a really weedy, airy look to this here. Let's get that willow in. I call it willow, but I think its actual name is needle leaf spray. This is a $14 branch. There's a lot going on to this branch here. It's very full and it's way too tall. But I'm thinking, based on the fact that it's in segments, I can rip it apart and use 2 segments here. So if Sharon's been shopping with us since we were downtown the first time, then that means back in 2000, we rented downtown, the building next door to us right now, and downtown was not doing very well at the time. We were down here and a lot of companies were leaving. In fact, we left the downtown after 5 years and went out to another shopping area of our community trying to get more eyeballs so that people would know who we are and what we did. And the jewelry shop across the street downtown moved at the same time. So we all kind of abandoned ship at the same time, and downtown went downhill pretty fast. And it took until 2015 when we were looking to get out of the strip mall location, because you know how glamorous strip malls are, never going to be good. We thought we needed to build a building, and it was going to be ridiculous even in 2015. Can you imagine now, building from scratch? I'm over taping where I ripped this, by the way. So then we came downtown and found this historic building built in 1910 that had a weird metal facade over the top of it. And we took a gamble. We should put a story up, actually. This summer will be our 7th year here. And we should put up a little before and after series of pictures, because you all would be appalled at how the building looked when we bought it. It was a huge gamble. Nobody knew how well it was going to turn out because we couldn't see what our building looked like underneath the facade. So it's actually a very beautiful, historic 2 buildings side by side that had this amazingly ugly facade that actually preserved the brick for 42 years. And when we took the facade off, all of the brick was perfect and the building was beautiful, and we got so lucky. That's the story in a nutshell of Magnolias. Now our downtown is vibrant and growing. We have bars, restaurants, boutiques, all kinds of little places to get coffee and pastries and shopping, having your lunch, breakfast, dinner, the whole bit, while you enjoy all of the small shops. And it's not chains. These are all mom and pop shops or small businesses just like mine. So there we go. Looks like we're going to need a little bit more stuff. Let's put in the purple. This color right here needs that, don't you think? Thanks, Christine. We are going to have to set up pictures. These pictures that I've been finding, I'm kind of collecting them because I know we should be educating people about our historic downtown. And our building isn't even all completely renovated. I did the main level, but not the second level, and we have an entire second story that we can still do. Here we go. That helped because that single stem can fan out into 3 parts. There we are. So you got a big hydrangea, some little snowball hydrangeas, and I think I need a thistle in here too. So this little guy, back to this one, is sold as a bundle of 3 stems. The bundle is a thistle spray for $15, and we're going to use that whole thing, separated, of course. So it's just kind of a new collection of flower stems here. It seems like that purple and blue are appealing to a lot of people. I think they're so muted that if you have a neutral decor and you start accenting with this, it's not jarring. Even that purple color is subtle and the texture is interesting. The airiness keeps it from looking formal. It's not stuffy design at all. It's just a nice casual, and this will be a gathered bundle. Casual gathered bundle is what we're going to call it. So this Queen Anne's spray needs to get reworked up to the center here. The hydrangea might make that seem more like the front. And my 3 stems of thistles are definitely needed. Then we're going to add a little bit of Dusty Miller. It's almost like doing a fresh arrangement. I started out with fresh design, when I was 16 years old, and I've been a designer ever since. Sometimes floral designers tell me that they're watching or that they used to be floral designers. It's always fun to hear opinions of other designers, like how has design changed over the years? We used to do dozen roses all day long, and now, personally, I'd rather get something mixed and airy than a very formal dozen of roses any day. Of course, nobody gets me flowers because I sell them. Except for my husband. He does fine. There we go. So it is nice and open. That is true. The design is full, but not completely packed. There's room on the back. This little Dusty Miller bundle is going to balance out the hydrangea a bit on the back side. And this is a new one. It's 17 inches, a gray Dusty Miller bundle for $6, one stem. And I'm going to drop that in the back side to provide that same dense look. That'll fix that up on the back. There we go. So when you wire this one together, we just need a chunk of that vine. And what I'm going to do to make sure it's good and secure is tape a wire up quick here. Drop my tape. And don't really have enough of that short little watermelon bush to put that in this vase. I don't think it would be long enough to get it to go in there. I'm going to cover a wire in brown tape so it doesn't show up as much. Find my center point right here and give that a quick wire, and then put some vine over the top of it to make it look pretty. And I don't want to wire all the way down because the stems are going to flare. Deliberately allowing them to flare is going to help that arrangement fan out nicely. If I were to wrap all the way down the stem, it would get to be kind of, it would pull it back in and make it more compact. So we don't want to do that. Instead, I'm just going to give it a little bit of wire and then decorate that base a bit. You know how that goes. So we sell this chunk of bendy vine for like $20, $22. And it comes in a big bundle. I don't see one behind me at all. Nope, I don't have one laying around nearby. It's this vine here that I showed on Saturday. It's like a 60-inch multi-strand bendy vine. And these are what I'm going to use to decorate this more or less. I want to wrap around my wire and make it look pretty when you see it through clear glass vase. Seeing covering stem vases, leaving them showing, what do you say? So you mean covering the stems of these individual pieces inside the vase? When we used to do things in the bottom of jars like glass beads, don't love them. I think that they look cheap. So I'm not a big fan of glass beads because it just screams 90s to me. So I like to do things in jars that would be more unexpected. Maybe some river stones or some seashells, or in the wintertime we use tiny pine cones. You could use eggs, like artificial little bitty robin eggs or something. So this whole big chunk of vine could just be loosely, I'm not securing my stems together at all. I'm just trying to shove it down inside the vase. It decorates and looks pretty. But I think if I had cut slices of birch, little pieces of birch logs, pieces of driftwood, sea glass, wouldn't sea glass be pretty in here? There we go. So that way it's all the way around. Hey Carolyn, how are you today? That way we've got a little bit something going on inside the vase. Not much. There's still room for decorating that vase if you had something you could use inside. And then yes, my arrangement is finished all the way around. It probably has a front because we love that hydrangea, but the back is balanced with the Dusty Miller. And we carry all these stems online with maybe the exception of running out of that hydrangea. Let's see. I'm trying to read the comments. They're coming really fast. So this one is going to be the drop-in vase design, and I'll have to add up my tags when we're done here. So I can probably just go back and comment what the prices are as I finish, and then you'll be able to comment back if you wanted to purchase it. We do free shipping at $149. If there's things you like on our website, you can shop magnoliasonline.com. and use that word, shopmagnoliasonline.com. If you fill a cart and then you want some extra items added that I designed today that are not in the store, the gals will fix all that up for you tomorrow because we're closed on Mondays and we're doing this new winter hours thing, trying to give me a moment to do creative work when we're closed and do some refresh of the store, refresh of our brains, all the things. That's the way it goes. Thank you, everybody. So when we're doing, oh, hey, Tammy. Tammy knows about overworking, don't you, Tammy? When we're doing designs for the store, we often do something that we call a swag. Have you heard me say that? Maybe it's more of my own phrasing. We do designs that can be used flat or hanging. So with this needle spray here, I'm going to shape it to become a swag by bending part of it back and part of it forward, creating an even more or less balance here. And this is going to be my base of a tray swag or a door swag, whichever it ends up being. There we go. And I'm going to lay some of the coordinating stems over top of this and build a design that can lay or hang and not have a container. But it will have bendy vine. You can be sure of that. That's just because I am stuck with it. Now that I like it, I'm never going to stop using it. This is a eucalyptus spray for $5.50. Silver dollar eucalyptus pick. And we should have a handful of them. That is $5.50. That's going to lay in there too. And we're going to build it in my hand, wire it up, and lay it on a tray, of which I don't have a tray in front of me, but I do have a bowl, and they're kind of the same thing, right? We're going to use the, whoops, he's missing a flower. We're going to use the Hydrangea spray here, except for he's missing one of his flowers, and I saw it laying here, and then I lost it. So come back to that. Here we go. This is what we need. We're just making all of these pieces coordinate. And if we do that, that's how the collection builds. And then when you're shopping a collection, the Bendy Vine Christine does come in different colors. We have gray, brown, and green brown, more or less. Not a variety of colors because it's supposed to look like a twig. That's probably why. So here we go. I just dropped my tags. Better keep track of those. I'm making a mess today. Lordy. Which is nothing unusual. Just ask Kate. She'll tell you. I'm always making a mess. There's, you know, you can't be creative and be neat at the same time. What do you think? How many creatively neat people do we know? If I'm really in a groove, I have like 19 things going on at once because that's the process. And it will not be neat and tidy, but it will get done. I can get a lot done, I'll tell you. So that Magnolia just needs to be short because he's going to be the focal point in the middle here. Keep wiring, keep adding. Let's use this thing. This is a little bit unusual and different. I like it. This is a $9 Scabiosa stem. Scabiosa stem. So that piece is blue and green in a star-shaped flower. Kind of pretty, isn't it? Christine, sounds like you want to make some stuff. You're really into this idea of designing, aren't you? We can send you some supplies. You can design away. We've talked about doing a group kit where everybody designs like a porch pot kit together. We're trying to figure out how that can get done. The number one problem is getting all of the things in that we want to put in a kit. We've been ordering and then only half of the stuff shows up, so that just makes a big mess of my plan. There we go. I think this one, because I'm using different supplies on my counter here, I'm going to use this berry, this big chunky berry. This is the Frosty Seed Berry Spray in taupe. I don't know where they're getting taupe from because it doesn't look very taupe to me, but it sure has big chunky berries on it. And these are foam berries, so not an outdoor safe stem, but they have a really pale white gray blush thing happening, which is kind of nice. That'll brighten up the area over in the display that we're doing. This is $17, so I'm going to use part of it and not all of it. Anyway, I don't want it to be that chunky. That's huge. But 3 chunks of it are just right. That looks good. And then on Saturday, I was using some of these other, what's this called? Dusty Miller in a light, airy style. And that one's $4.50. He's got a pretty soft look to him. There it is. You know what we really need around here is some berries. I'm going to have to hope they come in soon because I don't see any. And I need one more Dusty Miller that is possibly around me. Do I see one laying around behind me? Not in that collection. Not in that collection. All right, one more of those little Dusty Millers. I'm going to grab that and see if it's over here. Oh boy. Must not be around. We're going to have to do without. I don't see it. We're going to use some of this instead. There's no more Dusty Miller. I hope I find a box of it someplace, because yikes. I really need that. Porch pot tutorials sound good, Joan? Joanne or Joan? Probably Joanne. Just today, Kate said, are we going to do porch pots soon? When are we going to pull the kits together? We're getting things, but according to my notes, I don't have any one kit arrived yet. So hopeful, because I bet you're ready. Well, where you live on the East Coast, it's nice enough. You could do your porch pots now. Here, if we go to stick bright stems outside, somebody's going to drive by your house and go, well, what were they thinking? There we go. So now we've got everything bundled in my hand. It needs to be controlled and shaped a little bit, but the general outline is here. And that's the basic, that's the battle, is getting the outline. Then you can tweak it and make it look good by how it gets shaped. So this little purple weed that I just put in, I don't know that we have any more to sell online. It's kind of behind me in the bucket, so I'm just using that up behind me, since the filler that I wanted doesn't seem to be there. Okay, that makes good sense. I'm going to put a small wire where my hand is, just to secure things before I drop the whole bit. And that makes a really nice table piece if you don't need a container, or you need it to be low, like on a coffee table. You know how you just don't want to block the television and have something too tall. That's the idea. Oh, Joan's ready for tulips. Thank you, Carolyn, for the stars. So tulip time. How many of you are ready for tulips? Really? Are you ready for tulips? I'll call and see where mine are. We have all our tulips coming from pretty much one vendor. And I have not gotten a shipment notification, but I will follow up and check and see the status here and see how they're doing. It's Monday. Maybe they want to hear from me. Hard to say. Okay, so this one needs a little vine around the middle to make it all come together. I could put this whole $7 chunk in, which would, by adding it, give it a nice brown base as well, or just some contrast. Oh, daffodils. That's a good one. I usually buy daffodils. Yep, I'm just about done. Kate's checking on me. We're going to call it done with this one. So then my plan is to drop links and put prices in as I complete the pricing of all of these stems. I'm just going to open up this branch here, spread it all out, lay it on the back, meaning this, and then pull the vines up through. So that's going to further secure it and make it look cool, because it'll add all the branches to my design. And I don't want to bind it and make it smashed. So that's why, by working with a couple of different areas, the vine can come up and through in more than one spot, creating interest while simultaneously securing it. Oh my gosh. This is why my clothes looks like it does. It's hopeless. Don't buy nice clothes. Oh, sorry, Barb, if your screen is freezing. I hope it works out with your internet. There. Okay, how about that? I know exactly what happened. My microphone died. The little gadget on the other end ran out of battery, which was super low at the moment I started. That might be my sign to end my day. Anyway, I was talking about tulips in Holland, and if I disconnect my microphone, now you can hear me because I just got rid of it. We will check on tulips today. I'll add that to my to-do list, make a tulip call, and see where those are at. I'll check and see if we have daffodils coming. Thank you. It's just that the sound died because half of my microphone system ran out of battery. You better go charge that sucker up because you're going to need to hear me tomorrow. So tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow night with Kate. We're going to do something, depending how far I get tomorrow with my big plans. We're going to create a new area, and hopefully we can have that all ready to show you tomorrow. This little swag and the other pieces that I made, this would be great for a tray. It could hang on the wall. It could hang vertically. I think I'd go this way if it hung vertically. And it's just going to be a loose and airy complement to all of the designs made today. I'll drop some prices on the comments of this video so they'll be there. If you would like something, just message us. We'll figure it out for tomorrow and get that to you through a message. Yep, I had to unplug the microphone. It all died.
Your mic died.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. Appreciate the stars. Jennifer sent me some pictures of tulips. I would love to see them on our Magnolias VIP page. I bet that's where Jennifer's going to post them. So join if you haven't. Magnolias VIP is where we're going to go live tomorrow night for sure. So check us out then. Thanks everybody.